To do a raised bed, so I'm going to take this spot right here. So over there is my kale. I don't know if I told you I planted kale, but in these 4 spots is kale. Over there, right there is my turnip greens. Back there I've got bell peppers, some onions, and some parsley. So each 4 of these is kale, coming in really good. This spot here I've got collard greens, spinach, and something else, I don't know. And then in there is all my potatoes. So right here I'm gonna do a raised bed garden. Now, that's some rotten potatoes I put in there. So I'm gonna put a lot of stuff in there for my compost pile and other things like that. I'm gonna build this up, and then I'm gonna put some of that over it. And then on top of that, I'm going to put some more compost. And I also have some wood that I'm going to put around it. So, anyway, I'll keep you updated. Thanks, bye. Right. Got a good start on my next garden spot. This one's going to be a raised bed. I was going to put that roll of ground cover down, but I think I'll just use cardboard because I have a lot of cardboard set aside. So I'll use that roll of, that stuff right there. I'm going to put that elsewhere. I got some rotten potatoes in there. I'm going to be putting some newspapers and coffee grounds down. And I got a lot of compost I can put in here too. Anyway, that's a good start right there. Thank you. Oh yeah, on to gardening, one day at a time. This is the spot where I was getting ready to build the raised bed. The wood that I chose to go around it turned out to be treated lumber from a deck. And I didn't want that in my garden, so I took it away. So what I've done is I've put down some stuff underneath the cardboard, like just stuff from the house, table scraps, things like that, coffee grounds, old yucky potatoes that were needed to go. And then I put the cardboard down, and now I'm putting that dirt there that you see is from my some of my potted plants that are back there. So I'm putting that down on top of this, and then I'm going to go to my compost pile, which is way back there, and I'm going to dig out some good compost from underneath the bottom of it, and I'm going to cover this up. So I think what I'm starting out with is a lasagna garden, where you layer different things, in your garden, to build up some good soil. So anyway, I'll give you an update sometime later. Thanks, bye. On to gardening, one day at a time. My compost piles. If you watched any of my previous videos, you would see, anyway, there's one there, there's one there, there's a real big one right there, a smaller one right there, but this one has some really good dirt underneath it from last year. That one has some really good dirt underneath it, compost dirt. That one does too, but man, this big one, got a lot down underneath it, and I'm going to be digging some of this out and putting it in my my garden, my little garden bed I'm building back there. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good compost and get it going. Alright, on to gardening, one day at a time. Alright, here's some of the compost I'm getting. Look at that. That's really good compost down under there. That's left over from last year. And it's amazing how these piles of stuff that I put back here just shrink down to almost nothing compared to what it was. But it's really good rich compost. And look at that. You see it? Great. Just wonderful compost. Just break it up there. Excellent. See some eggshells from last year? Anyway, some good compost for the garden. On to gardening, one day at a time. I've been moving some of my compost to the garden, and I figured right here where I burn stuff and have our camp out cookouts, bonfires, whatever, that I would clean up. And anyway, I got all the ashes and stuff from that area, and I put them in my garden bed. And I will eventually get this one up too, get all those ashes out and put them in the garden beds, because wood ash is really, really good for it. Anyway, let me come back here. I'll show you what I've gotten out so far. I've been digging in this one, getting some compost out of that. But I totally cleaned this one up. This one right here, I guess you can tell. You know, pretty much got everything out of it. And pretty much down to the dirt, except for, you know, what I scraped off the top right there. And I still got this biggie, and that little one over there, that little bitty one back there, I just started the other day. You know, so as I move stuff off the top of this, I got about, see that white 5-gallon bucket back there? I got about 20 of those, well, maybe not 20, maybe 15 bucket loads, or 10, who knows. I didn't really count. But anyway, that's from the compost piles back there. So I've got that going. That's a nice little spot. There's where my potatoes are. I've got mixed greens in there. That's my new raised bed. I'm going to put wood around it, of course, and you know, turn it into a regular old raised bed. There's my kale. Those 4 have kale in them. And then this is my mustard greens. And then back there I have a few other things planted that aren't popped up yet. So anyway, I'm going to show you some compost that come out of the back there. Look at that. That is some nice compost. I mean, that's the stuff you see on YouTube, and I'm finally making good compost. And now I'm putting it on YouTube. Anyway, got some potatoes there and some onions I need to put back in the garden. And I had this on here to keep the, you know, just in case it rains, I don't want the, yeah, anyway. So, I'm going to get these planted soon. I got that cleaned up. I put that side right there, I put that in the garden as well. And I'll give you an update on the compost later. On the garden. My compost. Right here up front is where I got a good bit of compost for the raised bed garden. And then back there, I also got a lot from my raised bed garden. And then I've been rearranging this, and right down in there, you can see that. If you can get a good view of that, that is just good composted leaves. And I know grass. I don't have this raised bed totally finished yet, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and plant some of this in it. I'm going to put some cucumbers and some summer squash. So half of this bed's going to be cucumbers, another half is going to be summer squash. And I'm going to throw those seeds in now and see what happens. Can't wait to have some squash and cucumbers. Man, I'm so ready for it. Hey there, I got some yellow onions. I'm going to put these are little seed onions, little tiny things. And some of them are already growing. I'm going to put them in this raised bed along the edges on each side. I'm just going to take every one of these little onions, and I'm going to fill in on each side of this raised bed. And I'm just going to let them grow, see what happens. I planted cucumbers on this side and yellow squash on that side. And hopefully I can have me some onions and cucumbers and squash out of this bed. And I'll give you updates as it grows. Talk to you later. Bye.